Raiders. Right now I'm going to be doing a test to see how the mechanics of the game work. So I'm counting 3 boxes. The purpose of this video is to see if these items would despawn on their own after a certain time period. Sorry if this is boring content. I'm just trying to understand the mechanics of the game. Here's another cool thing if you guys didn't know. For some reason, you're able to place bear rugs and rugs on this particular cargo, not understanding why. Anybody understands this? Not just that. Some weird mechanics there. Can't do it anywhere else as far as monuments go. Roughly 2:05. Probably destroyed that about 5 minutes ago. So they're still here. Let's see here. Candy stuff container. No. Really? Seems like I can only delete certain items. If I delete the rocket ship. No. Hmm. Interesting. Very odd. I'm at the lights. Can delete lights? No. Water storage container forklift. Hell yeah, no. Free? Weird. Can delete portions of the tank. So I believe the purpose of this is to see what our limitations are and what the mechanics are with the actual gameplay. Earlier, I made the mistake of deleting a recycler, and I don't believe it's returned. Let's see here. Where was it at? Water treatment, I believe. Yeah, so there's a recycler here and then a work table here. So I'd definitely be careful if you're admin or if you're have this type of privilege or whatever owner, just to be careful not what you delete, because some of it won't return. For example, earlier today there was a recycler here. I accidentally deleted that along with this here. So it's apparent that maybe you can even do certain items like on the key card puzzles. And I don't know if that's something that we can put back or, yeah, probably not. That's going to have to be maybe the owner. So it's roughly been 14 minutes and nothing here is despawned yet. Seems like it's pretty consistent in the loot that it's giving you. It looks like 3 boxes. It's the same thing over here. Destroyed that at 2:15, so it's been 15 minutes since I destroyed this one here. Yeah, it seems like to me that this loot will last a while. That the only way that it's going to go anywhere is if someone comes and gets it and loots it for the most part. I don't know. I'll periodically check on this. I would definitely be careful on what you delete in the game. For example, I'm going to have to get with the owner of this actual server and have him try to put back what I deleted as far as the recycler goes. Um, the fuse box. Like this is okay. So it seems like to me that like switches, for example, how it's turning green, anything that can turn, so that could be gone. Yeah, the mechanics in this game are kind of weird. Whoa. Why can't I delete? I can't delete you? Hmm. The gravestones. Oh, fuck I go. Boxes are still here 20 minutes later. Well, sorry, 17 minutes later. See if I can find that scarecrow. See if I can get it. No, here we go. See if we can delete this building. Back of tires. No. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, we can get rid of the door. Looks like we can get rid of the switch. Can't get rid of the light. Definitely get rid of the box. Wonder if we can get rid of any support beams. So it appears I'd definitely be careful on the recyclers, switches, generators, workbenches. I don't know, what about over here? Can any of this? Yeah, it doesn't appear that any of this stuff could be taken out. So 3 boxes are still here. 3 boxes are still here. So it's 6. And it's roughly been 20 minutes. So another 10 minutes, another Bradley should appear. Okay, so they don't disappear, they die. Okay, so it'll kill them. And then you can. That's weird. What about this? Can we destroy the SAM site? Yeah. SAM site can be destroyed. Nice. Okay, I didn't delete anything in this building, so I'm not sure if it's normally empty like that. Or if you can get rid of a garage door. No. Tire? No. Barricade? No. Oh, no. Train track? No. Well, there's still 3 boxes there. 3 boxes here. That's odd. Not sure why that door went delete, but some of the other ones would. Wonder since this is moved. Oh, okay. So it seems like it might be something that if you can interact with it, there's a strong possibility that you might be able to delete it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. What about a tree? Can you delete a tree? You can. Nice. So that's okay. So I'm thinking I'm leaning more towards anything that you can actually interact with in gameplay. And I think with cargo, for example, since it's a non-stationary, there we go. I think there's a pretty good chance that anything that you can open, close, interact with as admin, you can most likely delete. And I think that for cargo, the reason why we can interact with that is because it's a moving. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm not understanding the mechanics of the animals. Like I aim at the animal and then it kills it instead of making it disappear. Versus a scientist, I mean, it seems like it's a one shot opportunity with them. So And once again, the purpose of this video is just to understand the mechanics when it comes to being an admin, or if you have the permissions to. I'm not sure if a moderator could do this, but there we go. So it's 2:25 a.m. my time, and these 6 crates are still here. So earlier, maybe it was a fluke and they just went disappearing or something. Well, let's see with candy, if you can make candy disappear. You can. Interesting. And going back to our conversation earlier, scientists disappear, so I'm not sure if it's not understanding the concept on that versus like animals versus scientists. Oh, come on. Maybe I can get this and see if I can fucking. I think what's going to happen here is I'm not going to be able to delete the plane. I don't even think I'll be able to catch it. Yeah. What about a dog? Yeah, kills a dog right off the top. Boxes are still here, so they didn't despawn. Boxes are still here, still didn't despawn. Earlier, I didn't film it, but there was 2 other admin on, and it seems like they were just coming and taking the loot for themselves. Because it was way within a 10-minute, like I disappeared and reappeared, and then all the boxes were gone other than one. And if you look at what time it is, my time, I mean, 1 more minute and Bradley should be here. Right? There's Bradley. I'm going to wait for it to get a little bit closer and then we'll see. Because, I mean, right now this is 15 minutes. It shows a half hour. All right, hold on here. There's 3. Okay. So, what is up here? Let's see if it's at least 3. We'll make that disappear. 1, 2. There's 3. And there's 3. So it appears that every time you destroy Bradley, that it gives you 3 crates. This was the second one that I destroyed. This would be the third one. So it's appearing that you're only allowed to have loot for 2 Bradleys at a time, meaning that my first one has despawned or gone somewhere else because it was over here, if I'm not mistaken. The loot didn't go anywhere, but the whole entirety is gone. The whole tank, everything. This was my second one that I just destroyed. And I'm thinking that it's only going to allow 2 at a time. I'll have to do more research on that. And once again, I apologize if this content's boring. I'm just trying to understand hopefully someone can take something from this. And if you notice over there in the right-hand corner, this is an active service or server. So if you guys are looking to have fun or just want to join a server, it's Rusty Raiders. We have ZERP zones. We have cash giveaway prizes. We have a pretty strong administration team. So come and check it out. We're still a small community, maybe 30 people at all given times, just depending. We're trying to grow it. The owner, Cheddar Bob's a really nice fellow. He's pretty chill, kick back. He's always trying different concepts and themes. Sometimes we'll do like gun games or PvP, and then the winner will get a certain prize. And then if you're new to the server and you just reach out, most of the time we'll give you a VIP kit or 2 just to get you started. We have ZERP zones, meaning that like you can put up a zone so that you're not raided. Offline at least, online raids count. I'm not sure what the mechanics or what direction we're going in. Like I said, we're still developing, trying to figure out what's going to be best for the community, what everybody wants. And our Discord, we have a Discord channel, and then like a lot of people give feedback and input, and then we'll normally take action. Or when I say we, the owner, Cheddar Bob, will take that input and make changes as needed or necessary as he feels necessary. And I'll occasionally create content that might be boring or whatever, but for me, this kind of me trying to understand the mechanics of the game. But if you're brand new to Rust and you want to learn how to play, I mean, this server is an awesome server to learn on. You could treat it as a sandbox, and the experience with our administration team is, well, we're all pretty chill, and like the owner who's really highly into the electronics of things, the automation of things. And then we have some really strong builders that can do base designs. And then we have some other individuals that are really good at like raiding, PvP. So if there's a certain aspect of the game mechanics that you want to try to learn or understand, this, once again, Rusty Raiders would be the server to learn it on, or come and join it just to check it out. I think you'd have a really good time. Not just that, like, if you find yourself working 40 hours a week and you're tired of coming back to your base being raided or whatever, I mean, we try to target the audience for those who want to have a peace of mind knowing that they can't be offline. And that's the purpose of these ZERP zones, so that you can't be online or offline. And there's certain rules that we have so that the game can be more enjoyable. So I think ultimately, if you're in it to be toxic or whatever, just go to a vanilla server. This isn't going to be the server for you. If you're looking for a server where you just want to come and enjoy and do some of the monuments or learn how to run monuments, and then this would definitely be a server for you, or a server that you know that you can build a base and you're still going to have your base. I mean, we still allow PvP, and this is primarily player versus environment, but I play on multiple servers, vanilla. I'll do weekly or I'll do monthly. I've done 100 pop, 130 pop. I occasionally go over to PC, and that's a whole different animal by itself. So right now, if you're just coming in, what I'm trying to figure out here is the mechanics. How long will it be before these items despawn? Right now, Bradley's every 15 minutes. Okay, so let's see how many crates came from that. So it seems like 3 for the helicopter, 3 for Bradley. Let's see if it took away from anything from over here. There's 3. There's 3. No, so that's still within the scope of Bradley. It sure is, right? 238. And our player community in the server, once again, I mean, we have all different levels. We have people that just like to farm. We have people that just like to run monuments or practice running monuments, trying to figure out the key card puzzles. We have individuals that are just brand new to Rust that are, well, I wouldn't say bullied, but they find it quite difficult to play on a vanilla server. So this server here, once again, the Rusty Raiders, as you can see up top, it's 6X, 8-man, auto kits. Right now it's weekend raiding. And then once you join the Discord, or once you actually join the community here, the Rusty Raider community, and the input, once your input, like what you would like to see, what gameplay would look like within the game, I mean, it won't go ignored. It won't fall on deaf ears. Like I said, our administration team's pretty solid. I know the owner's been playing Rust for at least 10 years, and his co-owner, between the two of them, I'm pretty sure they got like 14 to 18,000 hours from PC and console. So, and if I'm not mistaken, the reason why they have multiple servers, but the reason why they started these servers was because they got tired of the toxicity within the vanilla community. They wanted to create a space or a community to where individuals could actually enjoy Rust gameplay for what it is. Because I mean, there's I'm sure you know individuals that all they do is treat it like Call of Duty. They might have 6,000 hours, 4,000 hours, but they don't know anything about the electrical. They don't know anything about base building. All they do is just go around PvPing. Our team's pretty well rounded. Like the snowball effect is real in this. We have individuals that can run oil rigs similar to Oil Rat. Maybe not on that level. That individual is pretty insane. But what I'm getting at is we'll definitely go with primitive weapons and try to run it and just have a good time with it. And then sometimes I'll have something like what you would call a block party. All of us get together and we'll put the event out on Discord and we'll be like whoever wants to join, and then we'll just go and have a good time. We'll run monuments together, and then the loot, none of the admin keep the loot. The loot goes to the entirety of the community, whoever wants to run the monuments. Or if there's a particular monument that you want to learn how to run, and we have admin teams that run like the military tunnels, that run underwater labs. And if that's something that you wanted to do, that you wanted to learn, you could just reach out on Discord. Hey, does anybody want to run this monument with me or help me out? And I promise you, there'll be someone that'll want to run that monument with you. There are certain behaviors that we won't tolerate, like door camping, or when it comes to like after you raid somebody that you have to give them 24 hours to rebuild. We don't believe in griefing, so there's no like moving into someone's external TC after you raid their base. Things like that. We're not saying that you can't go out there and take over a TC, but definitely no griefing, right? And these rules and regulations could change at any given time. It's up to the discretion of the owner, Bob. But I've been part of this community server for almost 3 months now, and it's pretty decent. I don't get that gut wrenching feeling like when I play on the vanilla server, am I still going to have a base up? I know I'm going to have a base up. Or if I'm watching another influencer or something, or a YouTuber like Willjum or Blueprint or Oil Rat, I can try to take one of the concepts and use this server as a sandbox. And what I really enjoy about the server, once again, Rusty Raiders up here at the top, if you notice it, like we're really open to like if there's concerns or something, or if you get on the Discord and you're like, hey, I just want to be left alone. I'm new to we're going to respect that. We're going to try to do the best of our ability to let the rest of the community know, like, hey, you don't want to participate in the raiding activity. We're also going to encourage so that you put up your ZERP zone. It's not if you forget to put that up and you get raided, I mean, that's really doesn't fall on us. Okay, I think okay, so it does despawn. 244. And I think here in one more minute, we're going to have Bradley come. And if that's the case, then the mechanics of the game, I believe, are going to be once there's only 2 Bradleys allowed on at one given time. But as you can see, the loot's still been here for over 15 to 20 minutes. Now, I'm not sure if this loot's still here. It is. So I'm not sure if this is interfering with Bradley because it's here. And that's the reason why it hasn't respawned yet. Even there it is. So no, that has nothing to do with it. Okay. So it looks like we got three crates here left. The other tank got destroyed here. I'm wondering if I destroy this tank, if the get rid of that. 1, 2, maybe accidentally. No, 3. 3 crates. So we got 3 crates there. 3 crates here. And then 3 crates here. So that's pretty legit. I mean, that's just to show you the same amount of loot that you could possibly get from the game. I mean, at least for this particular server. I don't know if these mechanics would transfer over into the real world of the vanilla Rust, but as far as this server goes, Rusty Raiders, I mean, and then like when it comes to recycling things, it's instant. Here, let me turn this off. I don't want to accidentally delete something that I shouldn't again. Like if you look, you'll see it's instant. We go stats at 3,000. Right, that can change at any given moment, but like I said, it's up to the discretion of the owner. And if you watch this video and you decide to come to the server, just be like, hey, it's in the video on YouTube. And if you're new to the server, we'll definitely hook you up with a few kits to get you started. I'm brand new to content creation. This isn't like something that I'm doing to make money. It's just something to do as a pastime, if you would, and to help grow the server, so to speak. Nobody still lives here. Batman. And we have a whole assortment of different type of playing styles. Like we have role players, Like I said, we have people that are just brand new to the mechanics of Rust. This is a good area. Like this right here, this would be the concept from, I believe his name's Old Man Rusty Raider, or Old Man Rusty. He would call this the Triforce. I'm not sure what this base is. There's another base. This is that ZERP zone that I was telling you about. All right, that protective circle. When this is green, this means that you can be raided while you're online. If it was red, let's see here. This one don't have one on, so I guess. But if it's green, it means it's raidable. I'm not sure who base this is. Let's find out. Baked bean. Okay. Interesting. An upstairs says bitch. There is. Okay. Oh, this is K-Fam. He's another admin. I'm not sure if his role is, like, I know he's an admin, but I don't know if he actually helps the community or not, or if he just, or if he's just given the admin privileges to create bases and things like that. What is this? This is kind of unique. Yeah, I'm not understanding that design. Let me rephrase that. KFAM is definitely an active admin when he's on. And if he needed something, you could definitely hit him up and be like, "Hey," and he would take care of you. When I first started, he really took care of me, built some of my bases for me to get me started and things like that. But that's when he's on. So there's another base over here. I don't know who this belongs to. Looks like it's been raided. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Let's see here. How'd they raid this bitch? I was raiding it. All the walls seem to be intact. Oh, okay. So it looks like the raiders came over the wall. And then they had ladders going outside the wall. So most likely they laddered in, bandaged. Then they came over here and worked their way through the gatehouse. Not sure what this was here. And then it looks like they went in the core. Yeah, looks like right here would have been. And then these are external TCs. Looks like they're disconnectable. It might appear that way. If not, then that individual is going to have to destroy all these TCs. And it appears that there's 1, 2, 3. That's where I'm a little conflicted. I'm not understanding the purpose of this TC. This might be what you call a wall TC. If I'm not mistaken, these are Chinese bunker TCs. That is a new, yeah, I'm not really understanding this. Yeah, maybe. Let's try to see if we can emulate that real quick. So If we was to build that Chinese external TC, we would want to go a large triangle all the way up, high as we can, followed by a square, followed by a triangle, and then I'm going to just have to shoot this. And then if I did this right, this should be able to go to the ground. No, there's a rock right here. Let's try it again. Try more flat surface. Let me get out of this real quick. Like that Triforce base that we looked at earlier, that's definitely that's Old Man Rusty. He's a YouTuber, a content creator. And then I want to say that also, if you go to his website or his channel, he'll show you how to build this external China. I think that's what it's called, the China external TC. No, I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we're going to give it a try. So in theory, it should work. We're going to hope at least, right? And it doesn't look like it's going to work. Okay, so I need to find a flat surface. Try it again over here. Yeah, right over here. Yeah, this looks good. Try it again. So once again, we're going to go all the way up with it as high as we can. To this, we're going to put one of these, and we're going to put a little square here, or a triangle. And we're going to destroy this. And we're going to put in one of these. No. Maybe I don't know how to build it then. Let me transfer to somewhere where we can actually do this. Do it right here. Much better. Oh, whoa. Maybe not. Tripping. Oh, perfect. This is what notice how I went into this red zone right here? It'll tell you entering Killer Clayton zone. Well, it's red. It means it's non-raidable. So he can't be offline rated. But the moment he gets on and it turns green, like that other base was earlier, it's fair game. Okay, let's try it now. We're going to go all the way to the top. And we're going to come with this. We're going to bring it down. We're going to come over here. We're going to go to the side. And we're going to destroy this. Oh, come on. Give me a break, will you? Yeah, I don't know. I feel defeated already. I guess we just keep on trying till we get it right. All the way up. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I knew how to build it, but I guess I don't. But if you really wanted to figure it out, you could go to that Old Man Rusty Rusty on YouTube, and he gives a pretty good. Okay, that has to be right. There we go. So once you get that in there, like I don't know if we're going to be able to, since it's in water, I don't know if we'll be able to actually get a TC on it, but I believe this is how it was made. And then this right here is going to be a roof, and it's going to go this way. Let's keep our fingers crossed. No, it's in the water. That's the reason why it ain't going to work. All right, well, we'll try again. I'll do it right here. Triangle all the way up. Square. Triangle. Oh, what a fuck. Oh. There we go. We might have it. Look at that. All right, and then we'll take this and we'll shoot this here. And right here, this will be a wall. And flip it around. Be metal. And then this right here is definitely going to be the square roof. We can upgrade that. And then like in here, if you wanted to not that it was doing good. I'll probably put that on the outside. And then let's see if I have anything in here. No, but we can make it. I'll just use a regular box. Not everybody has the barrels, but you could put one of these boxes in here, or you could set one back here if I'm not mistaken, and then take a little box right here and then put that like something like that. And then you could even put a shotgun trap against this wall if you wanted. And then in theory, if it all worked out right, let me see. Yeah, I'm not understanding here. This is kind of weird. Okay, it seems like it might be. Okay, I can live with that. Can't stack building privileges. The fuck you mean? Okay, what the heck's going on? Did I not turn? Oh, I turned off something else. Okay. Turn that off. Wait, turn that off. Turn the clip mode off, and then hopefully this works out right. If we can get close you can to that wall right there, go ahead and place that in there. If you wanted, you can go ahead and slap a lock on it. Right, and then look in there, see what it needs. It needs some metal. Just put some metal in there. Sometimes you don't have that. This would be this would ideally be used to like keep extra loot, or if you're like just beginning. So to get into this, you're going to put a triangle down, and then another triangle, and then if you look, it'll allow you to, well, it should. Maybe I should have brought that box over more. Wonder if I can get away with just a full size. And then, yeah, I think that might be better. Wondering if I was to destroy that, pick that up, place that as close as I could, even if it was a small box, right, for in the beginning. And then what we can do is we can rebuild that wall. And then if you wanted to get into it, there we go. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if we'll be able to access the box or not, to be honest with you. Maybe we could try and let's see. We'll try it one more time. Oh, yeah, that's even worse. Anyway, you get the gist of it. It's trial and error, but that's the way you would build it. Let's see here. When I'm first starting off on a server, and I'm going to go farm or something, and I only have XYZ wood or materials, I'll look for a nice little cliff that has like a flat wall. This might be ideal. Kind of looks okay, so we could try it. So what I do is I put a foundation up against it. Something like this. Alright, and then we'll see here. We'll see how well this works out. This is also trial and error. Alright, and then you could put like a little box in here if it worked out right. We're going to see how this is going to work. So if we look at this, this is pretty much in the rock face. Can't really see in there. And it would be the same thing. You just put a little thing here, put a little thing here, and then it should open up. it's pretty close right here, so I'm not sure how we would access the box, if we could even access the box, but you can see it's only done one way here. You might be able to put a square on here and then connect. I don't even think that's going to work. I think it has to be the triangle, to be honest. There's just not enough room. Oh, stand corrected. Okay. So, I mean, maybe if we had like a barrel, if you had the barrel skin, right, we could possibly... Maybe something like that. And then like that. It doesn't look like the barrel skin's going to work either. So, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, you could just do like a little triangle, another triangle. Okay, maybe. You know what? Let's just do this. Do this all over again. We're going to try to... Instead of pushing it all the way into the cliff, I'm going to try to just make it to where these two are touching. Maybe. Something like this. I don't know if you can see that or not. That way I have more distance in between here and here. Oh, okay, it means I'm out of wood. Try it now. Yeah, I might need more metal. Fuck it, we're just gonna do this like this. And then we'll try to... Alright, try to put a thing there. Well, we can't put it in sideways, so I guess that's just the only way we can put it in for the time being. And then I'm going to try to get it all the way as back as I can next to this TC if possible. And then we're going to see if this works. All right. And then ultimately, if this was to work, I mean, this would be a pretty expensive raid, so to speak, just to get to the materials. And then yeah, there we go. And then there's our barrel, right? That's like we could put some of our good stuff in here. Right. And then in this, we could keep our resources like our wood. Slap a lock on it. You could put a shotgun trap right here. Let me see if I can. And I know this video isn't going to be for everybody, for those who already have thousands of hours in Rust. But in saying that, I do like sharing some of the knowledge that I've gained. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play shotgun. This is something that maybe as a user you can figure out how to do on your own or just play with it to a certain degree. I mean, worst case scenario, I guess. Fuck, I don't know, bro. What I can tell you, without the shotgun trap and all that, this is a pretty legit way of storing your goods for the beginning game when you're coming into something that doesn't necessarily need to be high quality. You can go out and get yourself a node of stone, some wood, create yourself a blueprint, and then just build something like this against a cliff, and then eventually just turn it, and then as you're out here farming your materials, so to speak, you get all your materials up and going, and then or anything cool that you come across, like an airdrop or whatever, and then you come over here, throw down a triangle, throw down a roof triangle. It does matter. It has to be on this side here. All right, and then as long as you're squat and then look into the item, and then you can place whatever you need to. And then if you look, like this is the only thing that's making this, I mean, you're going to have a pretty secure way of storing your loot until you can get a good base down, so to speak. And I probably play with this a little bit, right? But this is ultimately, if you didn't have one of them rocks, the China, this is equivalent to that. You just go as high as you can, square, jump up, triangle. You're going to have to find a way of destroying that. Put your square to where it's on the ground. You're going to have to find a way of destroying this. Then you can go ahead and, let me just go ahead and get some stone real quick. wood. I want to just fucking craft it. And we'll try to make all this work real quick. So this is on the ground, that's metal. That's metal. Gonna build our little wall right here. Flip it around. Metal. To me, it doesn't really matter what side you put the TC on. It could be this side or that side. We'll just go ahead and put the... It's going to be your little roof right here. We're going to go ahead and upgrade this. Upgrade it again. We're going to try to make this work. I'm not sure if it's going to, but why not, right? Bring this all the way over. Oh boy, I don't know if that's going to work. I'm going to try to do it this way this time, right? Do something like that, and then something like that, and then maybe something like that, maybe, hopefully, maybe. Keep our fingers crossed. All right, and now what you have here is a little secure area to at least get started, right? Like, oh boy, oh that's okay. So that makes sense now. Then we go like this. Come on. Really? That doesn't look like it's going to work. So, you pick this up, take the box. I think it's going to be one or the other at this point. So we just set our furnace in there. Put a new wall up. And like I said, this is trial and error. It's something that you'd have to figure out on your own to try to see how much stuff you could cram in there. But I mean, that's pretty decent in my opinion, right? You could start that off. You could put some of your items in here. You don't really have to worry about that. You could start doing what you needed to do for the time being. Right? And then ultimately, well, interesting. And then if you wanted, I guess, come on, rotate that in. Right? Something like that. And then I don't know if this is going to work, so let's just experimental. Alright. Looks pretty cool to me. Yeah, still got access to everything and right. Then you could like do your metal or your sulfur or whatever it is for the beginning game, and then so I want to say this is like a China TC. I think that's what they call it. And then this would be done if you didn't have a cliff. But either or, you come into a new server, you start off with the pickaxe, you get your grind on a little bit, start whacking away at some of this, some of this, some of this, and then you're afraid of losing it. You're going to first just get enough material to build this out of concrete or stone, so to speak, so it's strong enough to where at least it has to be, I don't know, 8 factuals, I think it is, something like that for a stone wall. And this is pretty strong. I mean, this is going to take a lot. So, and then you just put down the foundation, then you just put down your other, that, and then it'll open it up, and then you can build 2 or 3 of these or however many you see fit throughout the map just to keep your, and then once you get established and you get a big base going or whatever, you can strategically place these. Like my game style, I don't really live in a big base. I'll fall asleep on top of a rock somewhere. And if I die, I die. But all my loot's in something like this. And not all of them are going to have anything in them. Some like, you might have one here on this. You might have one over here. You might have a few of these over here. But like, I'll build like 4 or 5 of these and only 2 of them are going to have loot in them. And if you pick the wrong one and you go to raid the wrong one of these, and then at the end of the day, you're going to be like second guessing yourself, well, should I even start bother raiding these anymore type thing? Especially if it's all high qual like this, a person's going to think, oh man, what's this person keeping in here? And then when it comes out and it's just empty or a little note saying that, you know, thank you, come again or try again, or, you know, you can even put a little mailbox out here and put a note in there being like, there isn't nothing in here. And then when they go through it, you know, and then they realize, and then they see like 2 or 3 more of these over here and over here and over here, they're going to think twice before wasting all their time and energy trying to raid into something like this. But this is kind of like what I do in the very beginning. I'll set something, a structure up like this, or like primarily the one over here off the rock face. And it'll be stone, and then I'll slap a sleeping bag like over here, and then maybe one over here. Even though it'll still be in the same area, they won't fade away. It'll still count. And then another thing I'll do sometimes if I'm just trying to get a start is I'll just put up a little, like if I know that's going to be my bunker area right there, I'll just put down a square, a triangle, a wall, another wall, a filling, that. You know, or even might put in like a little half wall right here. and then put in one of these real quick, like that, and then jump up here, and then place this in there. And then I look at the cost of it, and I'll say, okay, I'll put XYZ amount in there. That gives me 40 days, right? And then I will slap a lock on it. But then I'm sealing it off. Right. Just like that. And then depending upon how thirsty the individuals are, I mean, then you put a sleeping bag in here. You can put like a little furnace. I'd probably use a small one just to keep it more compact, right? Like, let's see how I normally do this. Go here, I'll show you. I'll just give you a clean setup real quick, what I normally do. So I'll put in a sleeping bag, campfire, and furnace, right? I leave out the big box. I just use the small box. So first things first, I put the furnace here, put my little thing here, and then my sleeping bag normally goes like right here, like this. And then I'll put my fire like right here. Now I'll put a little cool door if I have it. Right, and then this is like my little home front for 30 days, right? Like, they might blow out the door, and then you leave this unlocked, whatever materials you have in here. Like, that'd probably be like your little personal kit, right? You take that, maybe some of your pickaxe, your tools for farming. Nothing really, like impressive, like something like that, maybe. Definitely wouldn't keep an AK. If you came across, like, say, I don't know, something like that, right? You could keep something like that in there. And then that would be your little kit for the time being. And then if they do raid this shit and they come in here, they're going to appreciate the fact that you kept a little kit in here for them. And then when you get on, the likelihood of you having a base still will be good. The only thing you might have to do is craft a new double door. Eventually, you could add on to this if you wanted, like put another square down, right? And then make an airlock, make this an airlock if you wanted to go that route. But I try to just stay low key. I'll build like maybe 5 or 6 of these in a general area and run all my major loot in one of these here. Right? Or in one of these here. And then, like, if you run 2 or 3 of these particular little bunker setups, we all know that it takes time and energy to farm. And when they raid, like, a bunch of these, they're going to get tired of raiding them. It's not going to be worth their time and energy, to be honest with you. And this is, you're maximizing your opportunity to be able to progress in the game. Like, you go run oil rig, I mean, heck, like in this particular one here, you got some furnace stuff so you could cook. I don't know how much boom you could keep in the furnace, but I mean, you could get enough to at least craft bullets. You can keep extra resources in here, stone, wood, whatever, until needed to be. And then when you're done with that, and then over here, you could come over here and right, and then you could look right here, and then like for like your guns and your kits and all that, you could keep your stuff in here. And we'll test it. I'll put some stuff in here and see if anybody actually raids this. I'll do a continuance of this tomorrow, just to show that it's like the raid cost on this is just ridiculous, right? Like, here, I want to definitely take one of these with me. But the rest of this we could, yeah, right. Then we have one for furnace. We have one for our thing in here. That's all high qual. We don't need the metal for this one. But if we wanted to keep it in here, we could, right? Just like this. I'm going to keep the wood with me just so that I can get in and out of this if I wanted to demonstrate some more later. But that's what that would look like that. I mean, very, very, right? And this doesn't all have to be done at one time. But this is pretty OP for a beginning game. This is really OP for beginning game, right? Like, not many people are going to want to raid it. And then the same thing with this, right? This is your little base here. You build like 3 or 4 of these. They get in here. They're like, they don't even want to deal with it. I promise you. Right? Like, and I mean, you could, if you wanted to make it more functional, you could something like that, right? And then like that, like that. That would come out. Of course, this would be all metal, right? There we go again. I probably shouldn't have put my metal away, but oh well. And I mean, right now we're at 30 days on the building cost of things. So as long as you make it metal, right? So there's multiple things you could do here. You could make this like, if you wanted to go this route, you could put like a battery in here, 3 furnaces down here, and then run it off a solar panel, and then just and then down here's your furnaces, right? And then you'd have your little electrical furnaces, um, which would be something like that, right? So then that would still give you space if you wanted to. You could do something different. You could put a locker in there if you wanted. Or if you wanted to make more like furnaces in here, you could put like a furnace here. Let me see what we can do here real quick. There's a furnace. Come on now. Yeah, of course you're gonna act like that. Okay. Rotate these bitches real quick. Sometimes you gotta rotate the rolls to get all the items in. I don't understand the mechanics behind that, but it is what it is. Try to get as close as you can. Same thing here. Right? If you have to, you can put up a little wall like this, jump up on it, and then really try to work your way in there like that, right? And then remove the wall. Put a half wall, half wall. You're going to destroy this, and then here you're going to go ahead and just put a little wall like this. All right, and then this becomes like your base. And if you look, you still got 22 days on this. All right, and the likelihood of someone destroying this, or, you know, you could take this, pick this up. You could put this over here. Right, now this is in combination with everything else, but like this wall here, you could destroy this, repeat this on this side, put another here, put another half or another full wall here. And then just hypothetical, like if you had a tier 1 or if you're just starting off or whatever, we're going to say you already got a tier 1, right? Like, realistically, so I just got to find the crap. Give me a second here, guys. We'll go straight to a tier 2, right? You go to bandit camp or you go to outpost and you see that there's other people that have tier 2s going on, or they're selling tier 2s for XYZ. You're going to do the same thing here. You're going to create a half wall, go ahead and delete this bottom wall, then you're going to put in a short wall here, and then ultimately this is going to act like your honeycomb. I mean, and now you have like a small little base. You only have one box of storage here. You could probably way too many, but whatever. Right? You could do something like that if needed, or hell, I mean, it would be, let's see here, maybe I have to rotate this fucking wall for half a second. Oh, almost had it. All right, something like that, and then just rotate this shit back. And then you're coming in and out. Only thing here is I don't know how you would get in. All right, because like sometimes something like that, just leave it like that. And then this would be your base, right? Like, I mean, I know for some people they're like, oh, what kind of base is this or whatever, but for me, this is comfort, man. Right? This is cozy, sufficient, right? Like, put that bear rug up there. I don't know if you guys know this trick or not, but like, let me take off my admin real quick for you. Take off God mode. I'm going to die a little bit from radiation poisoning, but it's okay. But check this out. If I stand on here, watch my comfort, and then I look up, I gotta wait for the radiation poison to go away for to really show the effect. If I had water, it'd be better, but I don't. So, and then this type of base could be used in combination with this here. Right, this would be used for starting off, where you could like do some of your cooking. You would have to play around with it. I know that there's a way of getting larger boxes in there to where you look down. Same thing here. This would be used in combination, right? And then this would be just like your little base. And you don't have to have, you could have multiple of these. I promise. Like, this isn't 16-day upkeep. No one's going to foundation wipe this. No one's going to want to break this to get to a tier 2. Um, very rarely. It's, when someone sees this type of setup, they know that, especially when it's a solo lock like that. Now, anyway, going back to what I was saying before, so if we look, I have no comfort. Like, it's going down, right? Let's pay attention to my comfort over there in the right-hand corner. 30 days. The mechanics of the game, once you stand on a small box and then you're near one of these rugs, bear rugs, now watch it jump up. It's incredible. It's almost like as OP as sitting in a chair, right? And then if you move around a little bit, sometimes you can, depending upon, you can get it up to go up to 100. Or if you had like multiple, if you had another rug in here somewhere, like, or even a rug, right? Like if you wanted to do a rug, something that you find in one of them 10 things, like you don't even have to make a bear rug. You could just make a regular rug. And then that regular rug you could place like that. And then if you stand here, you notice it doesn't go up as high because you're not on a little box. Let's see if I can make another rug. There's another rug, right? Now, if I look up, watch the comfort level, right? What is that? 92, 97. And then if you're standing on your sleeping bag, 96, 98. So like this is huge, especially if you're like you have food and water, like, and you just got like, here, let me show you what this looked like in the real world. So I died from whatever, right? Oh, what the fuck? All right, now I'm going to come out here and I'm going to look for some cactus or whatever. And this might be the wrong server to do this on because it already starts you off at XYZ amount of health. But if you had pumpkins or something and you're a low energy, you could automatically, when you respawn in here, just stand on your box and then look up. And then it's going to bring your comfort level. And as long as your food's over 50%, it's going to start building your health up. I just wasn't able to demonstrate that correctly. And then if someone's door camping you, the comfort level automatically goes up. Like in this situation, it's hard to tell, but if you had the fire next to the door, it would go up to 65%. But this is pretty, I mean, this is pretty cozy, man. You can still use your tier 2. You can come over here, still interact with all your... All right, you could use this for charcoal, whatever, gunpowder. And it's kind of like what this base is, really, right? Like, but I probably wouldn't cover it up like that. I would just... Me personally, I'd just leave it just like this so that they know they don't have to like blow up anything over here. They're not destroying your furnaces unless they're really vindictive or something. But you really want to try to keep this intact as much as possible without... Because like if they destroy these things and then it's a pain in the ass to try to get them furnaces back in there. You might be able to get 1 or 2, but you're not going to get all 3. And then the same thing with this. If they destroy that workbench, you're not getting another one in there. This is you're gonna have to utilize that space for something totally different, right? But yeah, that's kind of like the gist of it. I think that's going to be the end of this video for tonight. So I want to say thanks for watching, and hopefully for anybody that's viewing this, they take something from it. I'll definitely pick up tomorrow just to see where these bases are, see if anybody's raided them. Before I go though, we can definitely go on the admin real quick, and then right, and then we'll go to where did I see that one base at? I think it was over here. Let's say it's like right here. Right? So this is a pretty cool base to live in. You put turrets down here. And it's called the Triforce. Kind of what it looks like in here. You could put a workbench over here. Um, you could build a half wall instead of having this right here. You could put a half wall with a shelf and then run your shelving here. Large battery here. Um, work double workbench here. All right. Um, that's another example. So this is what you don't want. This would be a prime example. If you was to come on this server and you have this is called the ZERP zone. Um, I think I'm pronouncing that right. But if it's green like this, most likely this means that um, well, I'm trying to figure out like if he's not in here, then I'm not sure why the zone. Let me see something here. Yeah, I'm not sure what this means. I'm thinking the person's invisible, right? Anyway, what I'm trying to get at here is that if this base is not red, it means it's raidable. That means that if you have multiple people in your group, since it's up to an 8-man group, and you got somebody that's AFK and that's still on the server, but whether they're, I believe both of these individuals are admins, so it might be one's invisible, just hiding out, and then away from their controller. But either or, this green right here would indicate that they're still in the game. And this puts your team at risk. This would put your base at risk. This would allow it to be vulnerable for raid. So, and if you was to leave the server and not put up your zone and make sure this was red, then you could possibly be raided. And that's not something that as admin or the owner would be like, oh, we're going to replace your things for you because you got raided. This would be considered a user error. So, like right now, if they, for example, if they got raided, it would be their fault. And even though we would feel bad that they got raided or whatever, it would still be their fault because one of their active members on their team decided not to log off and stay AFK. And that would put their whole base at risk or jeopardy versus um, a good example of this would be what it should look like would be something like this. See that red circle? Nothing within this perimeter of this circle. No damage. No nothing. All right. Nothing can happen to. You can't raid their base. You can't do none of that. Yeah, see? And then if you see that big dog and Clayton are both in this, they're on teams together, but they're both logged out. So, like, if you was to look to see who's on the server right now, players in game, myself, and then Little Smurf. And then Little Smurf is AFK somewhere, probably sleeping, but she stayed in. And by her staying in, or by any, it wouldn't just be her, but in this particular situation, it puts your entirety of your base at risk. It puts your team at risk. Here, obviously, on the TC together, they both logged out for the night. They have 24 hours before one of them needs to come back in and then reset their zone to make it non-raidable. And then when they do get back on, this ring will go from this color to, where's that fucking base at, dude? I should just mark it down. I think it's like somewhere right here. And this is a really neat base. You can hook up garage doors to this, put auto sensors, and in between these cages is normally 3 turrets in the middle of it. So when you walk by the sensor, the garage doors come up, it'll start gunning you down. Or you can just put them in here regularly, and then this shit's normally not up here. This is just role-playing crap, just slapping up there for the hell of it. But not to get off topic, just so that you have a clear understanding, green is rateable. So that means somebody on their team, rather, I don't know how many people are on their team, but I believe Smurf is part of this team over here. And then when I went to go teleport, it teleported me to this base. So that tells me that if she's the only person other than me in this base, that means that she's part of this team. And in saying that, if she's AFK and went to sleep, she's put her team at risk for being raided. All right. So in the morning time, if someone came on before they caught this and they got raided, and then they wanted to be like, oh, well, I got raided. I had my ZERP zone up. This is clear as day that they didn't have it up. All right. This is user error. And not just that, this is another prime example. What you want to look out for, any building structures, you want to make sure that it's totally protected. Right. So even if this was red, see how I cross in here and it says entering KFAM zone, and then I exit out and then it says leaving KFAM. All this right here can be rated, even if it was red. Right? Like that. And depending upon what's in here, if hypothetically, if you could get to the TC or any loot in this area, let's see what's in there. Yeah. So this is all forfeiture. Whatever's in here would be forfeited. Oh shit, TC's right there, so that would be forfeited. That means ultimately you could slap down a TC in here and ultimately take over their base right here. Ultimately, I mean, that would give you building privileges to remove that, to pick all this up here, to destroy this. So ultimately you could lock them out of their own base. Right, so all this right here, this square right here, since you could slap down your own TC, and you could ultimately turn this into a raid base and utilize it against them. You wouldn't be able to until they got back on, but they would lose all control of this right here. And then ultimately you could put up your own zone in here. That's kind of like, that's the hidden danger. So it's very important to make sure that when you come into the server and you're new, not to overexpand outside of your zone. It might be a good idea to start your structure, then put up your zone, and then maybe put a box on the outside of it or right on the barrier right here, like a marker of some sort, just to give you an idea of where your zone begins and where it's going to end. Because this to me is, well, I mean, it's non-protected. Even if they weren't, even if it was red right now, this is raidable. This whole section right here would be raidable. And then ultimately you could take this over and utilize it against them. Or just move in it and be neighbors, right? Like, and for the most part, we normally have a pretty good community. We get along. I think I'm rambling now. If you do catch some other videos on my channel, them are filmed in a different portions of them are filmed in, well, once again, this is Rusty Raiders. Like it says, this week on Rusty Raiders, or trying to survive on Rusty Raiders. That's an actual server. So if you type in Rusty Raiders, most likely you'll find our server, and you're more than welcome to come and join our community. We like to have fun, so. And like I said before, I'm probably repeating myself here, but we have a pretty chill community. We have a really good team of admins, actual admins that we have individuals that have admin abilities, but they're not actual active admins, so to speak. And then we actually have admins that are like part of the community that moderate and police and make sure that everybody's having a good time. And then this is like what it would look here like, right? This is well, clearly it's an admin base. There's only 2 people on, myself, and I'm an active admin. But this right here, since it's green, you could ultimately, if you wanted, raid my base. And then here's another example. Raidable, non-raidable. Right? So like, I'm in the zone, and since it's red, I can't raid them. And then if I'm in here, I'm not sure if they had Turks, if you'd be able to die. That's one thing I'm not 100%. Like, if you'd be able to take, since you can't raid them, I just don't think you can build on them or put ladders on their base or anything like that. This is what you call a China TC, if I'm not mistaken, like we went over before earlier in the video. Kind of like what it looks like. I think by putting the roof up here so you can't soft side it, right? Up here, like what we did on this one over here. And these are super OP, right? Like, no bullshit. Like, I normally don't, I play solo all the time. So like, this is how I run right here. And you'll see me on vanilla servers. I'll probably do a video here when I get better at like actually editing. And right now I'm just doing everything through PlayStation 5, but I do have a caption card and OBS on my. But this right here, and what I was saying before, is so that you can't soft side, right? And then for a lot of this stuff, if you go to Old Man Rusty, he's a content creator on YouTube, you know, like this, none of this is original. This is all other individuals. They either came up with this or I just pulled it from their videos and they pulled it from someone else. But I'm giving credit where credit's due. This would be like China Base. This here would be Old Man Rusty. I want to think this is like Willjum Blueprint. Maybe Shots. This is just, I don't know what this is. I think this is just maybe, I don't know, just maybe a collaboration of everything, right? Just a bunch of YouTubers getting together. Maybe this is the beginning part of someone's base, but this is how I normally live. Or I'll just live in a 1x1, no bullshit. I'll just take a square, put some walls on it, and then make it all high qual, and then put like 3 or 4 of them, and then they become suicide bunkers for me. I don't, this over here would be the first, like, even then, this is not like a ideal base, right? Like, to me, this isn't, if it wasn't for me being in this server or whatever, I wouldn't live in something like this. Like, you can already tell, right? It's all empty. The windows, this is more like, there ain't nothing in this of value. This is, you know, maybe the TC area might have some stuff in it. No, not even then, right? Like, yeah. So there's nothing really of value in these bases that I keep. So if someone was to stream snipe me or something like that, they're not, well, they're not getting much, I promise you that. Now, that's another thing I like about the this particular server, right? Like, I don't know if you noticed, but we don't have windmills. We provide our community with these test generators. It alleviates any real lag in the game when you start getting large Zerg bases that are super huge and they get all these windmills. It just causes a certain amount of lag in the gameplay. So to not have that much lag, we'll add in these. And then sometimes we'll actually have red vending machine, kit vending machines, and you can get different kits out of them for Iraq or something, or XYZ amount of scrap. And then occasionally what we'll do is we'll go over to, like, say, well, we wouldn't do airfield. I try to leave all the monuments for like water treatment. I wouldn't do none of these. These are all set for 4 minutes and 20 seconds. FYI, right? So like if we were to go to them, the wait time on them is not 15 minutes. It's only 4.5, 4:20. Let's see. Yeah, see, 4 minutes and 20 seconds, right? And then like, but what I was getting at earlier is at least what I like to do when I'm on, because I'm an active admin in this particular server. I'm not sure for how much longer, but in saying that, I still enjoy what I do. I treat everybody fairly. But where did it go? No, bitches here somewhere. Launch light. Here we go. So if you are watching this video and you come over to it, this particular server, and you happen to notice that someone's taking Bradley, there's a strong possibility that this is what it is, and I'm going to leave it just like this, right? And then I'm going to go off and do something else in the map. And what I'm trying to create here is to get individuals out of the base to actually create a situation to where they might want to come and counter this. And if best case scenario, there isn't nobody here other than you, and you didn't have to go through all that hard work or 3C4s or work your way through the tier tree on the workbench area. I'm sorry, I've been playing Arc Raiders a lot. But it does definitely gives you an opportunity to progress. There's sometimes not just that. Wow, let me see if I can get that bitch. So what that's going to look like is something like that. If you're starting to see stuff like this and you're starting to see it across the map in multiple areas, most likely this is what you're experiencing. You're experiencing the admin going around destroying part of these monuments. Or starting the activities within the monuments. If that's more accurate a way of putting it, I guess, right? Like, I'm not going to take any of this loot. I'm going to leave it for the active players within the community at the time, in hopes that someone will come over here and get it to progress in the game. Not everybody's going to have rocket launchers, or not everybody's going to have a skill set to be able to take Bradley right away. But they can, by me doing this, right, you'll still get to participate in getting some of the loot from this. Or if you're really good at PvP or whatever, and you notice you can run over here real quick, and that's the whole part of me doing this, right? Is to create to create a positive experience for the entirety of the group, so to speak. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be placing large boxes throughout the map and putting a few key items, or maybe even small ones. And if I do this, it'll be like a treasure hunt. It'll be something like I'll take the Discord, or I might get on Discord and be like, "Hey guys, today is such and such date. I'm putting XYZ amount of loot boxes, and I'm going to call them loot boxes or whatever." And then I'll place them in certain key locations. What I'll end up doing is taking away all my markers that I have on the map currently. That way I don't lose track of them. Like, I might put one by Stone Quarry. I might say this round HQM Stone Quarry by Owens gas station or something like that, right? And be like, and I'll put, like, I don't know, maybe a couple jackhammers out there, and maybe some sulfur, uncooked, of course, maybe a salvage pickaxe, or I don't know, maybe a pretty cool kit, a full metal kit that is all skinned up or something, or maybe put an armored door, a single armored door with a large armored door. I'm not sure yet. I have to get with the owner on what exactly. I know I can't put explosives in it, so don't expect any C4 or explosive ammo. I could probably put like slugs, thinnery ammo. I could probably get away with AK builds, Tommy builds, full metal kits. But yeah, like a little treasure hunt. I might put some in the by Dome over here. I might put some over at E2, and maybe like 3 or 4 boxes, right? And then like, or just put like a little note in there. If you get it, then you tell me if you get the note, and then you send a screenshot of the note, and then you win whatever that prize is, particular whatever we write on the note. I haven't really figured out what I want to do yet as far as actually putting loot in them, or putting some kind of note in the box or whatever, or putting a particular item that I know that can only be generated by the owner or by the admin, and then once you turn that item into us, that'll have a certain gift attached to it, if that makes sense. And I'm not sure what the gift could be. This is just me brain dumping right now. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to we'll do that. Right now my responsibility is just to make sure that we have a smooth running um server, so to speak. Not glitch free, but like, can we all get along type mentality, and then just to kind of enforce some of the rules, and then try to make a positive experience for everybody. And I mean, I know that's not going to happen all the time. There's always going to be certain groups of people that are going to be unhappy, or, they didn't understand, they didn't read the fine print. Like, that's the reason why I'm really going back to, this is what it really needs to look like right here, right? When you log off for the day, if we have the ZERP zones, if it doesn't have this red zone, right, you're going to be rated. We have people that come on the server day and night, different hours of the day. And especially if you had conflict somewhere along the line, regular Rust conflict, of course, like you took someone's airdrop or whatever, and they find out where you live, and this is red, they can't do nothing to you, right? Within that 24 hours, because this will be up for 24 hours. And if you don't reset it in 24 hours, then it could be something like this. And I'm only pointing this out so that we really understand that, how it should be and how it shouldn't be, because like a lot of issues that we have in the server are people not understanding the mechanics, the do and don'ts. This right here will get you rated. Promise. We have a bunch of thirsty people on this server. Like I said, different skill levels, different types of, we got role players, we got PvPers, we got builders, we got people that are trying to learn how to run the monument. So we have a very diverse server here, right? And I'm still learning my responsibilities on how to become an admin or to be a functional admin. So, but this is definitely no go, right? This is either for two reasons: the person's still on, or a team member is still on. And I'm probably repeating myself, and I'm pretty sure I am. But this will definitely get you rated, right? And then if you intended on having this up, but the time lapse goes by of 48 hours or 24 hours, whatever it might be for the ZERP zone, you won't have anything here, period. Right? Because you didn't come in within that time period and go stand next to your TC and ask permission to build here and then put yes to reset it. Ultimately, you have to reset this. In this particular situation, this just means that someone's in this lobby, this particular group here is AFK, logged in their PlayStation, and still in game, which is putting their team at risk for rating. So if they was to get rated in the morning and be like, oh, I got rated or whatever, this clearly is their fault. No one else's but theirs. And then same thing would apply here. Once again, I want to stress this because a lot of our issues are you might forget to reset your zone. And if you forget and you go beyond that 24 hours of like if you get raided, that's kind of like, well, we're going to feel bad that you got raided, don't get me wrong, but same token, we're going to know that you didn't put up your zone for whatever reason, right? And then I normally don't fly around like this. I'm normally, as admin, um, I'm pretty chill. I don't get involved in any of your PvP activities. Um, I don't get involved in any of your monument running. Um, if I notice that Bradley's every 15 minutes and I haven't seen it being active in say a half hour or so, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to deliberately destroy it, but not take any of the loot, right? In hopes that someone will see that, oh, someone took it, let me go counter it now and have you stop what you're doing, you know. And then I'll occasionally throw down random airdrops, 3 at a time, right? That way, there's some more loot being spread out through the community. Sometimes I'll do that in a open area or whatever, just to try to get individuals to get out of their base so that they'll maybe start PvPing or whatever it might be to get that loot, to start competing, to start getting some type of activity going in the server, right? Like right now, I'm flying around trying to find different bases. And if you see me flying through people's bases just to see who's there, it's just me to get an idea. I won't disturb your base or anything like that, or break anything or take anything from your base. I'm just trying to see who has what built where. This is another prime example. This red line, non-raidable. This tells me that it's AFK, and then I don't even have to go in the base. I can just set right here. This is going to tell me XXV, right? End zone, leaving zone, entered zone, right? Hypothetically, if you were to raid this base and it was green or whatever, there are like, you can't just sit here and door camp somebody. Now, if they leave their doors open and you end up like catching them slipping, like they're online and this is green, and you come over here and bypass their sentry guns and you land, this is your helicopter, you land it here or whatever reason, right? Like, and you make it inside of their base and you end up going deep on them, that's on them. That isn't considered door camping, in my opinion. Door camping's, I'm waiting for you to come right here at this closed door, and I'm waiting for you. Well, let me turn that off. I don't want to accidentally, yeah, I think it's off now. Yeah. So I think everybody knows what door camping is, and definitely no griefing, right? Hypothetically, I come over here, I'm the raider, I raid your base, right? I have to give you 24 hours after I raid this base. I can't just come over here and raid you and then raid you again and raid you again. That becomes harassment and becomes pretty frustrating. We want to give the opportunity for individuals to be able to rebuild and reground themselves, right? And then the same thing with the small bases. If like that little small 1x1 that I had over, like, let's see here. I think it was like right here. Or maybe right here. No, right here. If you come across something like this and you just noticed it, you have to give it 24 hours. There's no honeycomb around it. There's nothing. Or if it was like a little one by one or something like, well, I don't know about this. This is kind of like a hybrid. I don't know if I would consider this complete or not. I think because it has turrets on the outside that I could possibly say that this would be a rateable option. You could possibly, or I'd say, yeah, go ahead and rate it. And then if you notice on the left-hand side, the Discord information's just popped up. Go ahead and sign into that. Like I said, the owner, Trader Bob's really, really cool. If you have any questions about how the server is going to be ran, he would be the man to ask. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what else to cover here. Just trying to explain the mechanics of our game. I think earlier I was trying to figure out what the mechanics are. Once again, green zone means rateable. Reasons why this could be on is just simply because someone's on in their party. You can have 8 people on. Um, this is what it would look like either if there's no zone active, since you don't see the line around it, or it expired, one of the two, but this is definitely rateable. This is like 3 stories high, beyond a one. It's a well-established base, so that's rateable. Um, this is possibly rateable. The only reason why I'm saying that is not because of the size, but because of the turrets outside of it, and the fact that it is made out of high quality. So it's shown that they took some time to develop it. This would be questionable. I would wait on this. I would not rate something like this until at least 24 hours. Um, let me see here. Try to find you another example of definitely not rateable for at least 24 hours, right? Like, um, this is one door, right? Like, and you can't door camp this. There's no door camping. So, I mean, even though it's made out of metal, we don't have any idea. This could just be someone's core, right? This is what they're starting off on. So we had asked that you at least give 24 hours before you decided to raid something like this. Now, if this had, like, say, another story added to it or something, and then had some more honeycomb to it, or if it had like an airlock attached to it, and then it was a little bit larger, right? I'm gonna have to get clarification on these, right? I definitely say that because there's no progression that can be made on these other than I probably wouldn't try to raid this right away. I probably, if you noticed it, you're new to the server and you've seen it, I give it 24 hours, right? Um, just because in 24 hours, if it doesn't go from this, take a screenshot of it when you notice it. And then if you come back to it in 24 hours and it doesn't look like this one here, they didn't do anything to it, then absolutely it's rateable. And not just that, it works 2 ways. If it is upgraded, it's still rateable, right? Because they went from this metal to this high qual, and that becomes rateable. That's how we're determining the progression of them building this, right? Because we know they can't add to this. This is either going to be an external TC or a stash house or whatever. So if it's a stash house of this and it's metal, and you came across it as metal, or even stone. If it was stone, I give it 24 hours, and then if you came back and it was metal, then I would venture to say that it's rateable. And then if it was metal and then it came over here and started looking like this, it's definitely at that point rateable. And if it's 24, not 24 hours and you get in and it's automatically like this, and bro, just rate it. It's rateable at this. If it's already at high qual and it's like this, or if this is already at high qual, it's, in my opinion, I would say go ahead and try to rate it. Right? You don't know what kind of goop or kind of loot it's going to be in these. Right? It could be nothing or it could be something, and there's no way of telling what the progression is going to be. Like if it's fully 100% high qual, then just rate it. You can if you wanted to. If it's like this, give it 24 hours. If it's stone, give it 24 hours. Same thing with wood, anything up. So like if it's this, 24 hours. If it's this, go ahead and rate it. And 24 hours, if you take a screenshot of this and you come back and they're still not upgraded to high qual, you can rate it because you've taken the time to honor the 24 hours. Same thing with this, right? You don't see any, it's a little different now. If this goes from this to high qual, you probably, I don't know, I'd probably say don't rate it, right? They're still probably in the path of trying to get their core, solid core to high qual. Maybe they have to get it to high qual before they can add any honeycomb, because once you honeycomb it, you can't reach like the foundation, whatever it might be, right? Like, I don't know. Certain base designs just slower in the progression of the build because the materials, like the core, might have to be all high qual, and you going out there farming the high qual, etc. Right? And then sometimes you'll come across stuff like this, right? Out in the middle of nowhere. And then if that's the case, just be mindful where you find it, and then, because that's not always going to be the case. And then if you come into the server, just notice an admin base. There's no, I guess, I'm not sure what the rules are on raiding the admin base, but that's the reason why you won't find any. I despawned all my shit daily. That way, if someone does decide to raid my base, they're not getting anything that it's going to be just an expensive raid for them because it's all high qual. And when you get in this motherfucker, I mean, like you can see, it's empty, right? Well, there might be a little bit of loot in here. Let's see, some metal. You might get some metal. I don't know if that'd be worth your while, right? Some med kits. Don't know if that'd be worth your time. But you're definitely not going to recuperate any boom. Right, you might get a few AK kits here, some scopes. But I'm not keeping any explosives in my base. If I spawned in, and I definitely don't participate in raiding, ever. So as an admin, I'm not going to raid anybody. Why is this building decaying? I don't know, it's odd. Might be like they... Yeah, I'm not understanding. Not that it's any of my concern that their bases... But that's another thing you want to worry about too. When you see a building decaying, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a dumbass. Building blocked. So I had my hammer out. I thought it was decaying. I was going to be like, but it's showing you that I can't do anything here. I can't even, like, it'll take 0 damage. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'll probably create another video tomorrow just to go over to see if anybody's raided these little bases. Um, Other than that, thank you for watching, and hopefully someone got something from this, especially with this here. You could go to Old Man Rusty, I believe he's called, on YouTube, content creator. He'll show you how to build this. He might show you how to build this, and then he'll definitely show you how to build the Triforce from Zelda. And then he has some really cool content. I'm not gonna lie, like he's the one that really put me on to, like, I don't this could just be the core function of my base, and I could just put sleeping bags around it and live like guerrilla warfare style, nomad style, and have like 10 of these particular units throughout the entirety of the map, right? Even this here. So, or even some of these, right? Like I play on vanilla servers where it's the triangle, square, and door, sleeping bag, box, fire pit, and then I can put my tier 1 right here, not inside of the honeycomb. I'll have no honeycomb. It'll just be a square. It'll just be pretty much that triangle and that square. And then I fill it in. And then that, especially if I don't have blueprints for that particular map, they can come in here and blow off my door and all that. But realistically, I got 16 days. In 16 days, if I don't have blueprints learned, there's something wrong. Right. And then this particular design right here, you can look up Batman base design, and that would give you some really solid options on what you could do with the star pattern if you're a solo. Like obviously a 3-man team ain't gonna live in this, right? Or duo. I mean, you could have a 3-man team and each one of you have your own base like this, maybe, and then build a bunch of these throughout the map. Like, this is huge. You have a big Zerg base, and then you put a few of these throughout the map, and you get raided. Like, man, like you build 5 of these, and then you only put your loot in one of them. I mean, people are going to get discouraged real quick if they raid the wrong one, and it's a 1 out of 5 odds or 1 out of 10 odds, right? Like, and these are essentially that's 25, 25, 25, 20, so 100 high metal, and then nothing to upkeep it, right? Like 2 for the upkeep, right? That's ridiculous, right? Think about that. Like, the cost to ratio for this is just insane, in my opinion. Like I said, I hope this video helps anybody out, or hopefully it did help people out, or, I'm not some master at Rust or whatever, but these items here have really, 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 really done a lot for me as a solo player. I mean, I built some pretty cool bases that are drawing a lot of attention, that are OP and all that, but if you wanted to stay under the radar and you're just trying to get started, and especially if you just come into a map, right? Like, this is the way to go. And then if you don't have this option because everybody has the same idea, I go to this option. This is just as powerful. Just don't forget to do the honeycomb up here, or maybe not honeycomb, but the extra roofing. Because you got to remember that this high foundation, this is can be soft-sided, and so can the roof, but it's just a lot of effort, right? It's multiple. Like there's, I don't know how many I put up there, right? Five, three. That's at least three angles, right? So like, I don't think that's something you can just splash damage, right? I think it'd just be cheaper to go through the wall. And I mean, if you wanted to do nomad style, you could just put attach and be like, can I build here? And put a ZERP zone around that. And that, like, man, or have an 8-man team and then everybody has, they're not part of your team, they're part of their own team. Like they're not going to show up on your team. You just all communicate through chat. You just invite everybody to chat, but you don't get to see where they're at on the game. Um, then eventually you could have 8 of these working for you at one time, right? You could have like you, your buddy. You're not in teams. Like if you notice down there on the right hand side, it just shows me and my own team. If you had all 8 of your buddies doing that, but you all stayed in the same base, you could all create one of these and put a ZERP zone around it. And then all your explosives would be protected. Even if your base was raided, you have building materials here. You have rocket launchers, retaliation kits here, so to speak, if that's what you want to call them. Right there, I don't know if you noticed, don't forget to join the general link chat to qualify for cash giveaways twice monthly, right? Like I said, the owner is very generous. And if I didn't read that correctly, it's because I can barely see it. Just rewind it and pause it. But like I said, we give away I don't give away cash prizes. The owner gives away cash prizes, and um, we try to make the server as positive as possible. Matter of fact, we're going to test this out. I'm going to go fall asleep in here. I think that's going to be where I fall asleep tonight. Anyway, thank you for watching. You guys have a good day, good night.